Mixed martial mornings. Morning martial arts. Yeah, that's how it goes. MMA. Morning mixed martial arts.
That was the best one yet.
First try.
Yes.
That was the best.
Yeah,
one
you could
yet.
tell. You could tell it's morning martial arts. You can tell by that chant. But we're live, everybody. The People's Pre-Fight Show, early morning edition, as we are 30 minutes away from UFC 267 in Abu Dhabi. We got 2 title fights. We got some really good fights. I saw people on Twitter saying that this card was whack. Was whack? How could you say that? How could you say this card is whack?
Name them.
I will go to their house right now.
You know who
slap them. I will slap those people right now.
Physically beat them up.
Shame it's a I'm gonna call this Aaron Williams. Shame it's a terrible card. The top of the light heavyweight division is not good. Yeah,
wow.
Yuri Prohashka has something to say to you, young man. Say it to his face.
Wow,
it's a good card. You're gonna be, and guess what? If you're in the United States, you don't have to spend $70 on it. How about that?
Rub it in.
Or live.
Rub it in.
That's right. Sorry, AK. We're live, everybody. I'm Mike Heck. We got the Prince of Positivity, Mr. Alexander K. Lee. Good morning,
I'm
sir.
very positive. Good morning. I have my morning hair, as people can see. I'm a little. Listen. For my fellow Canadians, we do have to pay. So it's normally like $70 American, right? Something like that. Pay-per-views.
Yep.
In Canada, that's like $350. So it's tough. It's rough. The exchange rate. So people maybe don't feed your children this month if you want a 267 and 268. Maybe don't feed your children this month because worth it. I think it's worth it.
Yes. And speaking of early mornings, it's way earlier for Casey Leiden. It's actually 7 a.m. Dude is up and at 'em, ready to go. How we doing, my man? I was in the normally you train. Is this like a rest day for you?
Yeah, this is my rest morning. Yeah, well, actually, I'm supposed to be training normally I train at 10 a.m. on Saturdays rather than 6 a.m. So everything's thrown off.
Oh man. Well,
and then you told me that there's people out there that say this card is weak. Oh, I'm so angry. And then we have comments saying that we hate MMA too. So we get it all here. This is great. Good morning.
Unreal. You people. You people. We're gonna be happy. We're gonna be positive. I'm excited for this card, and the beauty of this whole thing even though it's early in the morning, even if it was later in the day, we don't have to control this show. You guys control it. You guys and gals. So if you got questions, you got thoughts, fights you want to discuss, what your thoughts are for what the fight of the night could be, performance of the nights, who will be champion at the end of the day, excuse me. Leave them in the comments. We'll pull them up. We'll discuss. We'll talk all about them. But it's your show. It's the People's Pre-Fight Show. Let's go to the peeps.
All right. First one from the peeps. Let me go back a little bit. Hey, give us some questions, guys. Everyone's just talking things. There we go. Just
top of the morning to you.
Is that who says top of the morning? Is that it?
It's an Irish thing.
Irish thing? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Hey, top of the morning to you.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. What else?
Not one of my best accents.
I put 1,000 on Booker for the upset.
Booker. That's not good because Booker is not fighting. Devin Booker's an NBA player. So I don't know what you did, Aaron Doyle Designs, but I think you just threw $1,000 away. So
Booker T making his.
Booker T. He's retired, so he's not wrestling anytime soon. This is a very dubious bet, but hopefully it works out for you. I don't know.
We know what you mean. You're probably on your phone, autocorrect. But listen, if that hits, if that hits,
what's the line on that one?
Plus 410 for Dan Hooker. Daniel McCarthy, if Jan wins, do you think should he wait for Dillashaw or Aljo or take a defense against someone else? So listen, Petr Yan has played this whole thing perfectly, in my opinion. I think Cory Sandhagen, AK, needs to win this way more than Petr Yan needs to win it. It would be good for Petr Yan to win it. Obviously, interim gold, get you the first shot, so forth and so on. But Jan won't have to wait long. to fight for the belt next, especially if Aljamain Sterling moves on and retains the title. He's planted enough seeds this week that Sterling is going to want that fight. Heck, even if he loses, he might get it anyways, just because of the rivalry that he's built. So if Jan wins, are we going right for the rematch, or does he take a little dig at Mr. Sterling and say, you know what, TJ Dillashaw, I'm the champion. You come from me. Aljo's not the real champ. I am.
Well, I like the idea of him trying to set something up with Dillashaw, but I also like the idea. I like the question. This is from Daniel McCarthy. Should he take a defense against someone else? I would have no problem with him defending against someone else. Even I think Jan again already thinks he's the real champion. I think he's the kind of guy he's just going to want to build his legacy. Like when the big fights come, the big fights come. So he's definitely not waiting for Aljo. I mean, I know there's. I'm sure personally he'd like to have that resolved. I'm sure, but I mean. I loved the trolling. I loved the just throwing the illegal knee at the workout. I thought that was hilarious. That to me is a guy who's like, yes, obviously, I hated that what happened there. I hated how I lost my title, but I can have a laugh about it. When I fight Aljo, I fight Aljo. I think I'm better anyway. A lot of people who watched the fight clearly thought I was a better fighter anyway. So that's a win I want to get officially. I think he'll wait until any time next year, if that. He's not going to wait around for Aljo. Dillashaw's a little more intriguing, of course, a bigger name than both of them. Bigger name than Sterling, certainly, and coming off a very close win over Sandhagen. So, for the sense of selling a fight, he might want that one. But if I'm him, again, if both these guys, for whatever reason, can't fight in the next 6 months, you take whoever. You take over. It's a stacked division, a lot of dangerous guys, sure, but he's a great fighter, and it's a really good chance. If he can go on a run of even 3 or 4 successful title defenses, it'll be like an all-time great run because this division is so stacked. So I don't think he should wait for anybody.
From all accounts, Casey, Aljamain Sterling should be back and ready to go beginning of 2022. So maybe Jan wins this fight, becomes the interim champion. We try to put this on the undercard. Like, it's not official. Adesanya in Robert Whittaker 2 looks like February. It's not done. It's not officially announced, but that seems to be where this is heading. That'd be a pretty damn good co-main event, right? Or do you think this goes a different direction somehow?
It'd be a good co-main event. Man, I would love if Jan wins and wins big, and then Aljo's ready relatively soon. I would hope. But okay, what I'm trying to get to, will Jan ever be a pay-per-view headliner? Or is it always, or are these 35ers always co-main event guys? Even though we say this is the best division, the deepest, division in the sport, can the men's 35ers be main event pay-per-view guys?
I think maybe like a Jan
Dillashaw
Dillashaw fight. I think TJ would have to be involved, at least right now. But that's fine. Listen, Mr. Perfect and Bret Hart were the 2 best wrestlers in 1990, but they weren't the main event of SummerSlam. But they had the best match of the night, and that's the one everybody talks about. It doesn't have to be the main event. Like, I understand the money and the finances and all that stuff and pay-per-view points, but
that's all I'm talking
being
about.
on an yeah.
Sorry.
If they get pay-per-view points too, be in the co-main event, even just like a small percentage of that.
Yeah.
I think for them, I'd rather be in the co-main of Adesanya Whittaker, because that's a pretty big fight. Yeah. Adesanya's a big draw right now, and if you can get some sort of percentage off of that, I think they might actually do better than headlining their own card with buys and percentages and so forth and so on. So I don't know. I think we can get there. I think Jan's a marketable guy. I think Jan's a guy that the UFC is kind of hoping can become a star for them. If his English gets better, and it is. Last time I talked to him, he spoke English for a little while.
It's right in that middle. I love it right now. Yeah. It's in that middle area.
Yeah, I think he could be a star. I think we could get there. Someone's got to go on a run, though. It's going to be really hard in this division because it's just so deep and so loaded and so many different styles and so many unique matchups. It's going to be hard for a guy to hold the title and have a long run at 135. It just is. Hot potato time.
All right. This is the question I'm hyped on. Simple one.
Which card is better, 267 or 268? So what do you think, AK? You can look at it however you want. There's obviously more excitement for 268. We're not. Well, I mean,
why is this obvious part? Hold on. Go on, AK.
But overall, card wise, like, I'm not talking about like sizzle and drama and trash talk and all that stuff. I'm talking about like the actual matchups. Are the matchups on today's card, with all the drama away, better than next Saturday's card?
Yeah, and this definitely says card, so I think we have to look from top to bottom, not just main card. Obviously, for the card today, it's cool when we get fresh matchups, ones with, again, Glover Teixeira, great story. So long awaited for him to get another shot. There's that happiness to it. The build has been hilarious and wonderful. Jan got him. They ran to each other in the washroom. You guys saw that unembedded. And then later, someone released a clip. Jan giving Glover like the best beer from Poland or something, which could be true or not. It could be the worst beer in Poland. We wouldn't know. But I like the gesture. I like that. That's at least how it was presented. So great build. I love the wholesomeness. And of course, Jan Sandhagen, a killer matchup. One which again we might not have gotten until later, like much later, depending on what happened with Sterling and if Sterling hadn't gotten injured. So super excited to see that matchup, and of course the return of Khamzat and Islam. Possibly.
AK, come on, we only got 30 minutes. What's better, 267 or 268? You're just naming the whole card.
No. This requires analysis.
Which one's better?
Any. I could have just left my answer in the comments if I wanted to. If I wanted to just do
Which
that.
one's better?
And then next week we have rematches, and mileage may vary. Mileage may vary on that. And I don't know. Like I did not need to see the Rose Zhang rematch right away. I don't think I'm the only one who feels that way. Usman Covington I'm excited for, and Gaethje Chandler, of course, could be maybe the best fight of the year. So I'll give the edge for today. I like the fresher matchups, and I'm intrigued. You're right. Let's just go main card for now. You're right. I could take all day breaking down the prelims, but just going by the main card, let's go today.
267 better. 267 is better card. Better card.
That's it. But why, Casey?
Why? Because next week's card is 2 championship matches that were put together solely to sell tickets. I don't get a dime from those tickets. I don't get a dime from those pay-per-views. So as a fan, this is a free card. It's $70 cheaper than next week's card, and is equally as good or better.
Free is a very good price.
Free is very good. And I think the two, and for the first time in such a long time, the UFC actually put together 2 title fights that make 100% sense. That's all.
Yep.
And I need that in my life, and I need 2 matchups of just 2 good competitors who just want to prove that who's the better fighter. I don't want any of this Colby stuff next week. I don't want the Usman stuff next week. I don't want to hear, better dead than red kind of crap all next week. All that stuff. All that BS this week. Tomorrow, just in a few hours. Just 2 amazing title fights with just 4 great fighters, and I love it. I think that should be more celebrated. 2 title fights that mean something and weren't put together because of trash talk. I love it.
It's tough, man. 268 has the best fight of all. Gaethje Chandler is the best fight out of every one of these fights. It's the best matchup out of all of them. It is only 3 rounds, yes, but it is the best fight of both cards, and it's not even close, in my opinion. I think by the time Friday, Saturday rolls around, I think we'll feel a little bit different about 268. It might be ugly at times, but I think people forget how good Usman Covington was that first fight. And I'm really curious to see how good, like, the adjustments Colby can make, the adjustments Usman can make. That was the first time and the only time Usman's really, Gilbert Burns for a little while tested Kamaru Usman, but Colby, I had a 2-2 going into the 5th round, and you haven't been able to say that at all about a Kamaru Usman fight. So I'm the strawweight title fight. I'm not all that enthused about, although I am interested about seeing Zhang Wei Li training at Fight Ready, having more of a wrestling sort of game plan heading in. Gaethje Chandler's so good. Shane Burgos, Billy Quarantillo is a ridiculous fight. That fight rules. So there's arguments to be made for both, but 267 from like a purist perspective, we're comparing main events. The 267 main events are better.
Way more ranked fighters in 267.
Yeah. It's close.
MMA Fighting rankings.
MMA Fighting rankings, which are the only rankings that really matter.
Oh, this is true. You're right. Yeah, you're right. I'm just taking a glance now. You're right.
It's close.
So,
top to bottom, it's very close.
Cool. All right. And the whole Usman Covington thing was, the first one was so amazing. I feel like the MMA gods will punish us for this. How many times have we done this before? We're like, oh, what was amazing? We got to run it back. Willie versus Thompson. Remember how amazing that first
draw,
we got? Yeah, Anna was fight of the night. Anna was fight of the night.
Yeah,
and everyone was super excited. I'm just saying, how many times have we done this when the first one was freaking amazing? Just like, let's run it back, and the second one is like, okay, maybe we got a little excited.
Wow.
There's Gray Maynard, Frankie Edgar. All those fights are awesome.
Pessimism.
I mean, how many like?
And that was remember that was the
We're not
trilogy.
running
That was
this
the
right back,
trilogy.
though.
The
We're not
second
running
one
this
was
right back, though.
the second one
Liddell
was not,
Ortiz, Liddell Couture. Come on, these are great. These are feuds that built the UFC.
It's 2 years.
It's not
multiple
a feud.
multiple
it's
fights for
not a
Kamaru.
feud. It's Colby selling tickets.
Someone's
Colby
up at
selling tickets.
6:45. Someone's
it
up
worked.
at 6:45 in the morning, or 7:15 in the morning.
Oh man, but you know what? If Rocco Strickland was on in the New York card, that might have
Puts it over.
I might have put it over that because that was a fight I was so looking. I gotta say I'm really bummed out for that one. Thank you for reminding me of that. Someone in the comments, yeah. All right.
Ian Gary's finally make his debut next week. How much of Khamzat's return do you think was the UFC persuading him to versus him actually feeling like he can perform at his best again? He's had a lot of time off. I mean, Khamzat's wanted to come back for a while. He's been booked 3 times. This is the 4th time he's been booked since the Gerald Mearshart fight. Obviously, the COVID thing was rough. He wanted to be back sooner, but I don't know. I don't know if I buy the UFC persuading him more than him just wanting to fight. And I think this is the perfect matchup. This is a way better matchup than Leon, in my opinion. Leon was intriguing for a minute just because we hadn't seen Leon in a while and Khamzat was on this run. But after all this time, I feel like this is the perfect piece of matchmaking. Your thoughts on this, AK, and on this question?
I don't think there was anything nefarious going on here. No more so than the matchmakers pressuring any fighter to fight. I'm sure they're very excited to have him back. Definitely a big name to add to this card. A nice challenge for Li Jingliang, who I'm sure they also actually think quite highly of. We do know that they covered the Chinese market, and he'd certainly appeal in that regard. So if they can make a real contender out of him, they'd love that. So this is a no-lose. For me, this is a no-lose matchup for the UFC. I think it's just good matchmaking. Credit to those guys. And Khamzat definitely strikes me as someone who like Mike said, he wants to fight. He wants to fight. He wants to be the best. He said he wants to fight everyone in the top 10. He's not even making any calls like, oh, I want to beat this guy and then I'm 1 fight away from the title. He's saying like, I want to fight everybody. So that strikes me as someone who wants to stay busy and didn't need much coaxing to return.
I think if you put Aljamain Sterling's name in there, you could probably make more of a case for Sterling. Like just get him in there. I mean, he couldn't. I thought the date was surprising. Khamzat, not really surprising. Casey, your thoughts on this? Do you feel like this is a UFC persuasion thing, or this is Khamzat saying, let's go, I'm ready, and location.
This is why I insert, why not GIF both? Why not both? This is like both. I think Khamzat wants to return. I think the UFC is desperate for another star, and which is what the UFC's job is. That's what the UFC does. They're supposed to create stars, and they're doing a great job of Khamzat. Even though he's been out for it feels like a little over a year, but it feels like it's just his name has been around for so long, then it just kind of disappeared. Not so long, but like his name was so hot for a while, then it just kind of disappeared. Now it's back, but I feel like the buzz is still there, the hype is still there. So Khamzat wants to return, and the UFC is actually doing a great job of giving him just enough mic time. Like it was interesting they didn't bring him to the open workout, so I don't know. They're not pushing him super much, like the top, but I think enough. Yeah, it works. I'm hyped for him for some reason, just because everyone else is. I'm like, okay, so it works.
And I think Li Jingliang has
and the matchup
kind of been one of the stars. Yeah, he's been one of the stars of the week too. So
yeah, he can get that rub if he looks good tomorrow in a few hours. I keep saying tomorrow in a few hours. He might get that rub. Maybe, yeah. And the whole China market thing, yeah, if that's just, it even makes more sense now. Beyond just the ranking wise, yeah.
All right. Thanks for the question, Louis.
Oh, here we go.
Tristan Gordet, John Jaroba versus Hibas. Who you got? That fight rules. Get hyped. Casey, let's go, man. To be honest, I think Verna is overlooked. So Hibas, by the way, let me just pull up the actual lines here. Hibas, -170 favorite. The comeback on Verna Jandiroba, +150. It appears, by the way, with this whole Island Boy thing, apparently Jandiroba is the winner of this contest. I asked Sean Brady this morning if Petrosky's going to be making the walk. Apparently, someone beat him to the punch, is what I was told. So he tried, but someone already went in there and made it happen. The UFC said no to Andre's Andrew's asked. At least that's what I was told this morning. So it looks like John Jarova might be the winner. So who you got, AK? You got Verna or you got the favorite and Amanda Hebos?
I am going with Jandiroba actually. I like both. This isn't any sort of like disrespect of Amanda Hebos, who I think is a great talent. But I think, like the question is phrased, I do think Virna is a little bit overlooked. I guess because she hasn't come out like guns blazing in the UFC, but she's fought tough competition. She's been fighting tough competition for many years. Really, some of the best of the best in her weight class. So she's the kind of fighter and she's done really well. I mean, it's not even like she's racking up losses. She's I guess hasn't quite been. I don't know, like taking things by storm. But I have her by a late submission. I think we'll see some fun grappling. And I think Jandiroba is just a little more ahead as far as skill set and experience goes. So I'm going to go with Virna.
I don't understand the whole not taking things by storm. She came in her first fight, had to fight Carla Esparza. And I thought she won that fight. But Carla Esparza got the decision, a very wrestling, top-heavy type decision. But I thought Jandiroba won that fight against Carla. Destroyed Mallory Martin like in a minute or round 2. Destroyed Felice Herrig. Destroyed Kanako Murata's arm. One of the nastiest arm breaks in the sport. That for some reason we don't really talk. We always talk about the toughness of all these guys. Remember Murata fought a whole round with a broken arm, and then the ref's like, your arm's messed up. You can't fight. She's like, whatever. Now, I think Jandiroba is awesome. And
she is. But she's 3-2. She's 3-2.
If she fought Mackenzie Dern, and everyone loves Mackenzie Dern, rightfully so, but that was a super competitive fight till Dern kind of threw it on with the heavy strikes in the third round. It was tied going to the third round.
Yeah, so, but that's not taking things by storm. That's not taking the UFC by storm.
Versus who?
She's 3-2 in the UFC. How is she taking the world by storm?
I think she's done great.
We know she's great. She's great.
She's broke 3 finishes. 3 finishes and super close losses to top 5 fighters.
She's taken the UFC by storm.
I believe the UFC just hasn't haven't pushed her. That's all.
I agree with that, but I don't think she's taken the UFC
if you
by
just
storm.
watch her fights and the matchup she's gotten and the performance she's given us, I think she has.
They gave her the Mackenzie Dern fight and she lost.
Oh, Casey,
it was a super exciting fight.
Right, but they're not going to push somebody who lost a fight. They're just
they
not.
always do that.
I agree,
What are you talking about? Mike Perry loses fights all the time. They push him all the time. They push fighters who lose all the time.
Right, but fans know who John Jarova is. Like, they don't need the UFC to really. I mean, she could be a star. She's got to win this fight, though. She's got to win this fight.
That's why I love this fight. And this is a feature. Is this a featured prelim? Right.
This is the featured prelim.
That's a good spot. That's a great spot.
It's a great spot.
Yeah. So that's why I like this fight. This is good. This is the fight.
The Dern fight was also featured prelim. So they've given her opportunities. It's not like the UFC has just like they've just buried her on the Fight Pass prelims. They've given her chances to shine.
Nobody's saying I thought she has come in really strong. I was just saying with AK saying she hasn't really taken the war by storm. It's like, well, who has? I mean, I'm saying who?
My definition is when guys come in.
Hebos hasn't taken the war by storm, but
I didn't say she has.
Oh, it's like
when I say taking by storm, I mean someone who's come in like 3-0, 4-0, finished the first. You know what I mean? Has a bunch of finishes. That's like when you build up.
Shemaev took the world by storm.
Exactly. Shemaev took the world, quote unquote, took the world by storm. On Fight Island. So I mean, I think
maybe okay. I guess take the world by storm reference. We just see it differently. That's all.
She's underrated. But I mean, she's underrated. But
I was shocked that she was the underdog. I'm picking Verna big time in this.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a close fight. I think Hebos is the more well-rounded fighter between the two. However, I think John Jaroba's wrestling defense, I think her ground game is good enough to negate the strengths of Hebos. So I think this fight plays out on the feet, and I think both have improved their striking. I think John Jaroba's improvement on the feet is more widespread than Hebos. That's why I'm picking her to win this fight. I think if it's a striking battle, a kickboxing match, I think John Jaroba and the improvements that she's made, I think will be enough to win this fight. So, but if Hebos gets her down, man, it's going to get real interesting. I think
Casey, check
the ground game negates.
Check the guest chat.
Oh.
Bobby, I'll read this one. Bobby Atkins, how much does card cost in Canada? I think I was joking. I've been saying it's like $250. I think it's only 80. Oh no, yeah, like 80 or 90. God, that's a lot of money. When I say it out loud, that's a lot. Yeah, it's over 80. Well, it's not 80, it's 70 for you guys, right?
That's normal. Yeah.
For a normal one.
Yeah. So it's about 80. I think 80 for us. Whew. Sorry, Canada.
And then there's like a deal where if you spend like an extra $12 or something, you get a full year of ESPN Plus.
You guys are so lucky. We don't even have ESPN Plus in Canada.
Silly. What are you guys
It's
doing?
not making it across the board. It's been denied at customs many times. They keep trying to bring in boxes of ESPN Plus, and we just go like, no, we don't want none of that crap here. And it's very controversial. It's very political. It's very political.
All right, what else we got? Casey walkout song is I get knocked down, but get up again.
Okay, the song's called "Tub Thumping" by Chumbawamba.
Thank you, Casey.
Chumbawamba.
Casey.
Shout out to Chumbawamba.
Yes.
Those beautiful anarchists.
And is that a confirmation? You will be coming out to Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba. Too early to reveal? Too early to say?
Forrest Griffin walking out to that after. I think he walked out to that after his whole Anderson Silva debacle. I think that was one of the greatest walkouts ever.
Fun.
It's a good song. It's not that bad. So yeah,
We should produce you like rapping yourself out. Take the opening theme and just doing mixed martial arts and talking about you walking. Here comes Casey walking to the cage.
New Tyron Woodley again.
His own song.
Walking to the cage.
Narrating his own.
Walking to the cage.
Please, Casey,
Please do that.
I win by knockout. I grabbed the mic. Happy birthday, AK.
It's going on through the fight. Like the song, keep playing the song through the fight. I'm punching this guy. I'm going for a takedown.
This guy. Oh no, he's going for my leg.
I took the martial arts and I mixed them up. And that's why I won.
All right.
What else we got? We got a couple minutes left, and then we'll make our quick picks.
Oh, guys, sorry, we're getting bombarded with spam.
Yeah, I'm saying I got him.
Thank you.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, some comments. Casey does look for hot takes. Yeah, this is actually 100% true. No thinking going on. Just I'm not denying that at all.
It's early. It's early in the morning.
Oh, it's so early. Oh, here we go.
I saw someone comment
early.
earlier. It looks like
I know it's so early.
It looks like one of us is in a bathroom, one of us is in our basement, and one of us is in our living room. So the acoustics in here are amazing. So I don't care what people say.
That's true. Excited for Hezbollah? I mean, sure.
Yeah.
Real talk. Here's how much I know about Hezbollah. I'm not. I just haven't kept up.
Hezbollah is like one of those like things I keep saying. I'm like, someone will explain it to me later. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
and I'm not against it. More power to him. People are saying it's a really cool story. I was like, great. Hey man, whatever. He's gotten the attention in the martial arts world, so more power to him. That's great.
I shared that video of him punching Minotauro. You saw that one?
Yeah.
Like,
I think I heard about it.
He whacked him like he was really putting his hip into that. I was like, it was impressive.
If Islam beats Hooker, is he putting a title contender fight next, or just a top 5 opponent?
It's the same, actually.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, it could very well be. I think like I said, he's either going to get the loser of Chandler Gaethje or the loser of Oliveira Poirier. That's what I think. And
I said
those guys aren't going to be in a position to say no, if we're being honest.
I said yesterday, I think he's right that if Chandler wins and if Oliveira wins, that he actually might just get the title shot right away. I actually could see that happening.
Wait, sorry. It's early. What'd you say?
Rather than the UFC booking Chandler and Oliveira like a rematch, if Chandler beats Gaethje and Oliveira beats Poirier, obviously they're not. I don't think. They might. Like we've talked before, that fight was amazing. The first fight was short but awesome. But I don't think they'd want to book it right away. And I think Islam could slide right in there and get Oliveira.
Is Oliveira being? So you think that Islam with the right wins and losses coming in, like Gaethje, the whatever coming later?
Mm-hmm.
Islam's next fight could be for a title.
Could just be for the title. Yeah, no contender, no top 5, just right to the title.
I believe you too. I think so too. It's gonna be a lot of money stuff. Whoever takes, it's gonna be a lot of financial stuff that we don't want to. Yeah, that kind of slows down the sport. But Chandler got a title shot after beating up Hooker. So I think if it's a big win, I definitely see it could happen. But more than likely he has fight one more time.
Yep. We have one more, or
yeah.
go right to picks. Where does Beneil stay? That's an excellent
Good
question.
question.
Yeah.
That's something I want the answer to. You know what? You know what? I'll tell you. I'll tell you what. If Oliveira wins and Chandler wins, we do Islam versus Beneil, and the winner gets the title shot. Both guys probably need one more win. You just mash them up against each other if that's what it comes down to.
How many of these guys have the same manager that we're talking about right now that we've discussed in the last?
Beneil, Gaethje, Islam. There's a 3 in this whole discussion.
Holy, geez, Louise, that's tough. Yep. That's tough. All right. I wonder. Yeah, I wonder if just Beneil's been told to wait. I don't know, but he shouldn't have to. Oh man, that's a strange one.
Well, he just had a kid, so he's going to be out. He said he's going to be out till like December or early next year. So it's not like he's in a huge rush. But I think if something were to happen, Poirier gets injured or something, maybe Darius slides right in there.
Yeah, if he gets a call for that fight, he puts the kid down. He's like, all right.
Yeah, he'd be ready.
Guys, we can keep rolling. By the way, I don't see I'll let you know if they're in the cage. Right, I've got the prelims tuned in, so we can keep rolling if you guys want to, or if we need to buzz off.
Or you want to do the little predictions fight
do
of
our
the night
picks.
and all that stuff.
All right, real quick, we'll go through the main card. Then we'll do fight of the night, performance of the night.
Thank you for
Performance of the
skipping
night
some of the
predictions.
prelims because I did not know some of those gentlemen.
All right. Magomed Ankalaev, -365 favorite. Volkan Ozdemir, +280 comeback. AK, who you got?
I like Ankalaev second round knockout.
Casey.
What I put? Oh, I put the same thing. Ankalaev second round knockout. I feel bad for Volkan because people are have been kind of crapping on him. He's a bit of a flash in the pan, but unfortunately, he's just not top 5. I think he's top 10, not top 5, and I think Ankalaev eventually will be a top 5 fighter, and this is kind of the fight he needs to kind of get him there.
I have exactly the same pick.
Second round
knockout.
Oh, we all had that.
Yeah,
Wow.
Volkan is tough, man. I think Volkan gets out of the first round, but I think he starts to slow down. You saw it in the Yuri fight. I think Ankalaev is just so good, so underrated, so undervalued, and he could definitely fight for a title by the end of next year. Khamzat Chimaev against Li Jingliang. Let me pull up the odds there. I believe Khamzat at the moment is the biggest favorite on the card. Yes, -630. Come back on Jingliang, +450, Casey. Who you got?
This is just a leap of faith, honestly. I'm going Li decision.
I'm going Li, third round TKO. No one's talking about the effect, like everything Chimaev has gone through.
Oh,
and
no,
the weight miss.
that's what,
startling. Yeah,
it's
that's
a big
why.
factor.
I mean, that's one thing I kind of leap of faith because Chimaev saying he's the best he's ever been or whatever. I just don't believe it, and I think Li is underrated.
I'm banking on Jingliang getting out of the first round. If he gets out of the first round, I think he wins the fight. AK?
I'm all in on Chimaev. I want to see him being brought up in 20 on to the next one matchups every week again. Chimaev, first round submission.
All right, we got Alexander Volkov, -335 favorite, taking on the surging Marcin Tybura. Comeback +260 AK. Who you got?
Marcin Maniacs, I'm sorry. I think the magical win streak ends. I'm going Volkov decision.
I'm going Volkov decision as well, I believe. Nope. Second round TKO. Casey, who you got?
Volkov, dominant decision. This is in the big cage. Volkov is a top 5 heavyweight. Tybura is not. Volkov doesn't lose to fighters like Tybura.
Islam Makhachev, -575 favorite against Dan Hooker, the legend, +410 to come back on him. I'm going Islam Makhachev via decision. I think Dan Hooker is going to have his moments. I think it's a fight where Dan Hooker's stock will rise even in a loss. I think he's going to show a lot of toughness, a lot of tenacity, but it just won't be enough. I think Makhachev wins the decision. AK?
Makhachev is surging. Submission round 2.
Casey?
Makhachev is surging. TKO. Round 2.
Damn.
But ground and pound TKO. Ground and pound
yeah,
TKO.
TKO, of course.
Yeah,
spicy.
Yeah. And
spicy.
I think it's gonna be it's gonna be a great fight. But it's gonna be all Islam though.
Interim bantamweight title. Petr Yan -235 favorite taking on Cory Sandhagen +190. AK, who walks out as the interim champ.
The co-best bantamweight in the world Petr Yan by decision. In a
I got
great
Yan by
fight. What could be
decision,
one of the best fights of the year, I think.
Yes, I got Yan by decision. Also my fight of the night pick. Casey?
In the fight of the night, by decision, Cory Sandhagen.
Woo!
Hot take.
Woo!
And the main event, we got Jan Blachowicz, the minus 300 favorite, defending against the 42-year-old Glover Teixeira. Comes back at plus 235. Couple shekels coming in on young Glover Teixeira over the last 12 hours or so. Casey, who gets it done? And still or and new?
In my last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My last 5 Jan Blachowicz fights, I have picked against him. I picked him against Rocco. I picked him to lose against Jacare, against Corey Anderson, against Dominic Reyes. I picked him to lose against Israel Adesanya. And I predict him to lose in just a few hours and new Glover Teixeira.
Oh,
Wow,
my goodness.
that'd be unbelievable. That'd be incredible. AK?
I have the same problem as Casey. I picked him. I think I only picked him correctly to beat Jacare, but I definitely picked him to lose his past 3 fights. Not this time. No, this time I owe him. I owe the champ some respect, and still, 3rd round KO/TKO.
Yes, I learned my lesson after the Dominic Reyes fight. I picked him to beat Israel Adesanya by decision. I don't think this one goes to decision. I think Glover is tough as nails. I think it's going to be a fun fight, but I think that legendary Polish power will come through round 3, knockout, and still. All right,
walkouts are happening. I just want to say walkouts are happening, and I did run a poll. What fighter people are looking most forward to? Almost a dead tie between Jan Sandhagen and Hooker Makachev. Jan Sandhagen at 36%, Hooker Makachev 35%. So that's a sign of a good card, I think.
No interest in the least amount of interest in the main event, huh? That sucks. Because
17%.
That
17%.
really okay. This sucks. I hate that. I hate
I
that
think
because
more...
these are the legitimate the 2 guys that should be fighting for the title, and they built it up just by being gentlemen and proper mixed martial artists, and just say, I want to fight this guy because he's a really good fighter. I like him, but we're gonna fight each other. And people are like, boo! I need
no.
Come
I think that says more. I think that says more about how excited they are Makachev on Sandhagen than anything negative about Blachowicz this year. That's my take on it. I pick one option. They can only pick one option, right? So I don't think that's meant as a disrespect, Casey.
Okay. Last question. Okay, you just say over under. So the most competitive prop on the card as a whole, over 6.5 fight. 6.5 is the number. 6.5 over 6.5 fights go the distance. Minus 125. Under 6.5 fights go the distance. Plus 105. Are we going over 6.5 fights going the distance, AK, or under 6.5 fights?
I'm going exact. I need that half because I'm going exactly under. I have 6 fights going to a decision. So that line. So that line to me is perfectly set. Yeah, I'm going just under.
Casey,
I'm going over. I have actually 8 fights going to decision.
I think I also nope. I have it right down the middle. I have 7 finishes, 7 decisions.
So you're over. So just
I'm
over.
over. Slightly over. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
That's it.
That's a good line.
Get your coffee ready. Get your go cook an omelet real quick. The fighters are making the walk. So
they're in.
Fights,
Teixeira,
title fights.
and Alan Nascimento are in.
Here we go.
So
get excited.
You Canadians start going through your couches, start collecting that change, and send those coins in your Canadian dollars to pay for that pay-per-view that we get for free.
Kind of.
Kind
All
of.
right, we're out of here. Follow along, MMAfighting.com. Results. Jose is in Abu Dhabi, so I'll post-fight interviews and stuff on our YouTube page. And then we'll see you after the card. We'll be back. And we'll talk all about what transpired. For AK, for Casey, I am Mike Heck. Enjoy the fights. We'll see you later on.